Yo, what's good, man? How's everybody out there doing? Welcome in, man. Happy Friday. How's everybody, man? Let's go. How's everybody? Come on, man. Yes, sir. We're almost at the weekend again, man. These weeks keep flying. I swear, these weeks keep flying. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I hope everybody out there is doing great. Oh, man, we're going to get into it. Yes, sir. Oh, we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about today, man. Sheesh. They just keep giving. They just keep giving, man. We're gonna get into it in just a second. Let everybody get into it, man. Let's go. Yeah. My rings of power on. Let's get it. Oh, man. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Let's go. I hate that we got to cover some serious shit today, man. Because low-key, I just want to clown. Hey, man. Let's go. Yes, sir. Welcome back. So awesome, man. I love that part. But welcome back to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. What a week in the NBA. It's the gift that keeps on giving. They just keep giving me things to talk about. I mean, the Lakers might have been a part of the two best games of the year, and they were in back-to-back nights, at least two of the more exciting games that we have seen all year. I mean, wow. Wow. And then we got to cover the LeBron James, Stephen A. Smith. The battle continues. I didn't cover it on Wednesday because I didn't watch both of it all the way through. I didn't want to do a disservice to you guys, but I watched both of them all the way through. But man, we got some things to talk about today. Let's start with the Indiana Pacers last night. I mean, I like, it don't even look real. Like, that stat line almost doesn't look real. The Indiana Pacers got a team record 162 points in their win, obviously, against the Washington Wizards. 162 to 109. I mean, talk about a whooping, belt to ass, whatever you want to call it. That is exactly what happened last night. I mean, they had like 75 with like 7 minutes left in the second quarter. They didn't score in the last 2 minutes. They should have had 170 or they could have had 170. Just an unbelievable night. Now, I wanted to, because some of these numbers are unbelievable, right? So we'll go through it really quickly. As a team, the Indiana Pacers shot 59 of 92 from the field for 64.1%. From the three-point line, they shot 27 of 47 for 57.4%. On the free throws, they were 17 of 19, and they had 48 assists. 48 assists on the night. I mean, a lot of those numbers are unbelievable, but in comparison to the Washington Wizards, 48 assists to 19 assists looks insane. 162 points is crazy, y'all. They almost shot 60, 60, 90. They almost shot 60, 60, 90. Here's another really unbelievable stat, right? No one scored above 30, right? Tyrese Halliburton had 29. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players in double figures. And no one played more than 25 minutes. Everyone, like, the most was 24 and change. 24:57 for Hallie, 24:40 for Jarris Walker. So talk about a complete team beating up on another team. Now, even last year, they weren't known as a defensive team, but this, obviously not at this rate, but this is the team that we were expecting all season long, and they just haven't been that for most of the year. I think a lot of it has to do with Halliburton. He's had a bit of a down year, but the last couple of weeks he's been playing very well. He had the game winner a couple weeks ago. Obviously this game almost hit another game winner the other night, even though he didn't score a whole lot. So just really, picking his game up, right? Because I've said it before, if he's not going to be aggressive, and we just talked about this with Jimmy Butler, right? Any player, if we know you're just going to pass the ball every single time, it makes it a little bit easier to guard you. Granted, I think Tyrese Halliburton can get really creative with his passes, right? I know Steve Nash and Jason Kidd were players that were very pass first. There were a lot of guys that were like that. But for Jason Kidd, for example, at the end of his career, he became a very solid three-point shooter. But his speed, quickness, and his strength at the point guard position, and his ability to get and touch the paint every single possession damn near, made him a threat, right? Someone getting that close to the rim, whether you think they're a scorer or not, they are a threat. And so his play style added to his ability to consistently pass the basketball. And, Tyrese Halliburton isn't faster, quicker than, a lot of the NBA. He's a very finesse type of player. And so he needs to look for his shot to open up these passing lanes, right? And when he does that, they're a very good basketball team, especially on the offensive end. And I think they are one of those teams where when their offense is clicking, their defense starts playing better, right? They are one of those teams where their defense feeds off of their offense instead of the other way around, right? They start hitting shots. They start getting into the defense. Guys start getting into the passing lanes. They get out on a fast break. That's how that's how they play as a team. So their offense is really, really important for them. And that showed last night. For the Washington Wizards, these guys suck. I mean, like, this is something we already knew. But it's just I don't know what I'm watching. You know how people will, they want to get an inside scoop on what the best teams are doing, right? What the best players are doing. You want to sit in their practices and their meetings, right? I want to see what the fuck is going on in the Washington Wizards practices, the Charlotte Hornets. Like, I want to see what's going on in those meetings and in those practices. I want to see them go over plays, and then the very next night or in that same night, those players make the same mistakes. I would love to see it. Forget all of the good teams. Let's see what the worst teams are doing. Let's see, right? I want to see an inside scoop of what is going on in that locker room. I think that would be great TV. That would be unbelievable content. Unbelievable content. So somebody should get on that. I mean, these guys are historically bad. I mean, these guys. What is their record right now, man? Because these guys, wow. And the Indiana Pacers, right? We want to talk about the Lakers having an unbelievable back-to-back nights. The Indiana Pacers they're a part of that as well. The Washington Wizards are 16-57. That is crazy. 16-57. Jordan Poole might be the greatest no-pressure player we have ever seen. They down 30 and he starts hitting shots. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on. I mean, you think about the role that he played on the Warriors, right? He got to play free and without pressure, right? No matter how many points he scored, right? And no matter how much ESPN or these highlight pages would gas some of the moves and the shots that he would take, at the end of the day on that team, he was maybe fourth in line in terms of importance and impact. Because you had Steph, you had Clay still, who it was a down season for him, but you know, it was still Clay. Andrew Wiggins was a massive part of that team, and Draymond, right? So I don't know what's up with Jordan Poole, man. He got skills and he got talent, but he just I don't know. I mean, that you see why he's been so good this year, right? Everybody stopped talking about him and he starts playing a lot better. Derpy Entertainment, what's up? What's up? Thank you. You are far too kind, my brother. You are far too kind. You are far too kind. But thank you. You saw this ass whooping? It was a good day for you yesterday, huh? I love that. I mean, oh, you're a Dookie? I didn't know you were a Dookie. I didn't know you was Duke. I didn't know you were a Duke. You know, speaking of Cleveland, I'm glad to see that they, you know, after those couple losses, right, they were able to bounce back very quickly. And we were talking about them the other day. Their offense is as good as anyone. So we just got to see. I just want to see how they look in the playoffs. Genuinely, I just want to see how they look in the playoffs. That was a rough little 3-game skid that they were on, 4-game skid. But hey, they're back. Let's talk about the other night for the Indiana Pacers. Did you guys see the Pacers-Lakers game the other night? It was a crazy game. They were hitting insane shots back and forth. Halliburton had how many assists did this fool have, man? This guy was going off. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not it. Let me see. But it was an unbelievable game. He had 18 assists that night. And Bron walked away. He walked it off. I'm talking about the man on the Lakers. Honestly, man, like this was so unbelievable. Down the stretch, similar to this Bulls game, right? That just happened last night. I mean, you want to talk about LeBron? I want to talk about Austin Reeves because he was hitting some shots.
And it's rebounded by Luka. LeBron leaked out. They didn't see him. Here he is down court.
Quick double.
Luka with 2 for the win. Tipped up and in.
And it wasn't even close. It was obviously a game winner. But like I said, I gotta give credit to Austin Reeves. He looks extremely comfortable. He's extremely efficient. He knows his role. He could work any defender in a phone booth damn near. It don't matter if they're bigger, if they're taller, if they're his height. Austin Reeves is nice, man. Austin Reeves is nice. But, credit to LeBron for this Pacers game because he had no field goal going into the fourth quarter. He had 10, I believe, in the fourth or something like that, right? Yeah, he had 10 in the fourth. And, Luka was also hitting big shots down the stretch, right? Massive threes, talking shit. It was a great atmosphere. It was a great atmosphere. And, with the Lakers not having been together for so long, games like this are really important, right? To be able to bite down and win close games. Like I said, my takeaway really is Austin Reeves in the last two nights, right? Because, we've seen what LeBron can do over 20 years. We've seen how good Luka is. The fact that Austin Reeves is stepping up with confidence, right? Taking the ball to the rim in a lot of these situations to go ahead, to tie, to win. I think it speaks a lot to, one, the trust that all of these players have in him. He got to be busting ass in practice. Austin Reeves has to be busting everybody's ass in practice because they give it to him and they're just like, all right, cool, go do your thing. I think that speaks a lot to how good he actually is and the work that he's putting in, right? So, man, that boy is nice. But for the Indiana Pacers, I think they're looking a lot more like how they looked last year. Obviously, they had the revenge game and took their anger out on the poor Washington Wizards. No one could miss the night after. But, it wasn't a terrible game from the Pacers, right? They just lost at the buzzer, right? It wasn't a terrible game for them. I think the thing that the Pacers struggle with, right, is when it comes to size. Miles Turner is a 7-foot tall player that likes playing at the 3-point line. And so after that, you're looking at Pascal Siakam to try to do a lot of the things in the paint, and he's never been that type of player either. So, having to deal with LeBron for 48 minutes is going to be really tough, whether he's having a good game or not, because even though he has the tendency to kind of drift to the 3-point line a little bit more nowadays, he still plays towards the rim and around the paint. So the Indiana Pacers almost got it. They almost got it. That would have been a sick 2-game stretch to win back-to-back. We got to take a look at this because this was, in the last 20 seconds might have been the craziest shit I've seen, man. I don't even know if I could play all this. Let's see, man. Shit. They might hit my ass with an ad. Let's see. Austin Reeves. That boy's nice.
12 seconds left. Bulls have to hurry. Get it into Vucevic. Quick pass to Williams. Big shot for 3.
Good swing. They're going to hit us with an ad on the game winner. Watch. Watch. I can feel it. I can't believe Bron gave that up. I can't believe Bron gave that up. And who do the Lakers go to on this play? Austin fucking Reeves. Looking both of them off.
Bulls are out of timeouts. 2 seconds left. Getting for the win.
Bang! Oh my God. That is insane, man. That is insane. Full strength Pacers over full strength Knicks. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks. Which mistake? Which mistake are you talking about? What's good? How you doing, man? How you doing? On the game winner? What's the mistake you're talking about? But I mean, unbelievable. I mean, wow. I mean, just. I mean, does it really get better than that in NBA basketball, man? Like, what an unbelievable last minute of the game. The funny thing too was just before all of that, Josh Giddey trolled on the baseline with a left-handed floater that he airballed. It was crazy. So for him to make up for it, I mean, like, what a game. What a game, man. What a game. Bruce Merrill, Booger Boys, Lakers in 5, Jayson Estrera, dog. What are we doing? Oh, man, that's good. That's good. That's good. I mean, y'all Laker fans, y'all LeBron fans, what a roller coaster, huh? Them last 2 nights have been. You got the Stephen A. LeBron shit during the day, and then at night they're giving y'all a show. They're giving y'all a show. How good are Kobe White and Josh Giddey on the offensive end? It's funny to me because I feel like Chicago always get these like quick fire, super scoring like little guards. Like back in the day, they drafted Jamal Crawford first. They got Ben Gordon, and Kobe White is basically like another Ben Gordon. I mean, like holy shit. And Josh Giddey, you know, kind of like Austin Reeves, like just manages to always find his way at the rim, can hit shots, but I mean, wow. Wow. What a game. What a game. I can't believe. I mean, what do you even. There's nothing to really break down when it comes to that. I mean, guys are just coming up clutch and hitting shots. Josh Giddey gets the steal to get the ball to Kobe White. Kobe hits the shot, and then Giddey with a half-court game winner. Like, it don't get better than that. If you're the Lakers, right, like I said, you know, you winning one night and losing the other night, I think it's all about the bounce back for them, right? If you're trying to win a championship. Jackson Hayes has been really good for them. I get he don't do nothing but be athletic and dunk the ball. That's all they really need him for with Luka. So it really is kind of a fit. I think it's crazy that he was about to be not. He wasn't going to be in the lineup as much had they gotten Mark Ingram and that whole trade worked out. But to see the resurgence, right, and he's been playing really, really well. Everyone is looking for him on every pick and roll. Every pick and roll, he's just living at the rim. I got an idea for Luka, man, and I want to give him his credit because I think he's been much better with the refs, right? It's funny, he's fixing all of the things that was a problem in Dallas. He's down in weight. He looks like he's about 260, 255 right now, if I had to guess. Lost the weight. Not yapping as much to referees, right? Even though there's some moments where you can clearly hear him saying shit to them. I think he should, all of the conversations he has with the referees, right? I think 80% of them should be about his teammates. I think that's the switch that he needs to make. When he's talking to them, complaining about anything, I think most of the time it should be about his teammates because that'll do a lot of things, right? For one, it'll reprogram the way that the referees look at him and think about him. Now he's going to be this ultimate teammate, team player, team kind of guy. And I think people respond to that in a positive way, right? Referees are people, right? So I think they'll respond positively to that. And they'll understand that he's trying to look out and protect for his teammates, right? And so when he's being crazy and he's being animated, if it's in the protection of his teammates, I think that goes over a lot better over time, more often than not. And I think in turn, though, he's already been complaining a lot less, like I said. But I think that little switch could do a lot for him and his teammates. And they'll be like, your teammates be like, oh, shit, this guy keeps sticking up for me. Being the star player on the star, on one of the most popular teams in the league. I think that would be a good strategy for him. I wonder if somebody could get in his ear. We got to figure out who we could tell to tell him that. We got to figure that out. We got to figure out how to get that piece of information to Luka. And I'm not pulling that out of nowhere, right? If you've ever watched the Kobe doc, the one that he did with Spike Lee, Kobe Doing Work, when he dropped like 50 on my New York Knicks, and they covered it. It was the night after he dropped like 50 on the Knicks, and they were covering a game against the Spurs. And Kobe literally said most of the time when he's going at the referees, it's for his teammates. He's pointing out pushes in the back. He's pointing out when players are undercutting his teammates, grabbing, holding. It's almost the same as when a coach says something in a post-game press conference, right? It now highlights it, right? Instead of just complaining about yourself, right? So, hey, just an interesting thought. But unbelievable last two games for the Los Angeles Lakers. And like I said, you like games like that. You like games like that. We're getting ready for the playoffs, man. We are about to be at the playoffs. Before we get into the LeBron Stephen A stuff, is Austin Reeves the best third option in the league? I'm trying to like run through the list as we speak. But outside of maybe the Boston Celtics, and the difference with them is they do it by committee, right? They don't have as much of a responsibility that Austin Reeves has, because after Austin Reeves, you're looking for a Jackson Hayes or a Rui to step up and give you 20 something. So, the responsibility of having to score and be really a third ball handler and a playmaker for the Lakers, it puts a lot on Austin Reeves' shoulders. And obviously it makes it easier having LeBron and Luka on your team who demand so much attention. But Austin Reeves is not only, like, he is a super efficient scorer. Like I said, he could score in a phone booth. It don't matter if you're bigger, stronger than him. He could shoot an open shot. He could hit you in the pocket pass. I mean, I'm trying to think about. I don't think there's a better third option than him, man. Like, I'm struggling to find one right now. Because like I said, it would be easy to say someone on like the Boston Celtics, for example, but they got so many players, right? Guys outside of Tatum and Jaylen Brown, any one of those other players can kind of fill in that third and fourth option role pretty easily on a given night. So it's not a burden on them to have to do it night in and night out like it is for Austin Reeves. And he is one of their better defenders. It's no longer his role, but he still gets after it on defense. Right? For the player that Reeves is, right? People aren't targeting him constantly, right? People aren't just consistently targeting him. I know he's a little bit undersized, but he's incredible at his role. He does an unbelievable job at his role. And when we've seen him step up into the second option when guys are missing, he can give you 40. So I think he is the best third option that we have in the league right now. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy for me to say. Now, we got to talk about it, y'all. We got to talk about it. I'm going to quote Stephen A. Smith. I didn't want to talk about it, but we going to have to talk about it. They're at it again, man. I don't know if y'all saw, but LeBron did an hour with Pat McAfee, and then Stephen A. gave him like 17 minutes. Where do I even begin? I guess let's start with LeBron, because after the Stephen A. stuff, I guess he responded and then Stephen A. responded to him, right? I don't know if y'all know how these shows work, but Stephen A. kind of brought some light to it as well too, but this is how this stuff works. That was a fully choreographed interview. It wasn't a back and forth conversation where Pat McAfee was given the grace and the leeway to kind of go off a tangent. There was only one part in that whole hour interview where I thought they went off of script, and that was the very end where homeboy asked about, do you really read the fucking books? That was the only moment that I think wasn't really a part of the plan. And listen, when you're as big of a star as LeBron James, and if you know how these interviews work, that's how they go for the most part, right? And Stephen A. kind of points that out. He just says that he takes it a step further and says that LeBron is very controlling. And honestly, if you see the way LeBron plays basketball, it's not that far off, right? But I still don't think LeBron has addressed the things that Stephen A. was talking about. I still want to see the video. If anyone has it, please show it to me, because I'm down to be wrong. Y'all know this. I'm okay with being wrong. I'm not too proud to say that I'm wrong. But show me the video where Stephen A. goes at Bronny James, the person, the kid. I'm yet to see it. And like I said, if I miss something, I miss something. But show it to me. And people want to talk about all these other things. Like I said before, we're going to talk about him because he's LeBron's kid. Like that's a given fact. And it wasn't just Stephen A. It wasn't just Stephen A, right? News reporters should go back to the reporters again. I'm tired of guys trying to be superstars off gossiping. That's weird behavior. Okay, but you bringing up a lot of stuff, Elijah. Where is the part where he went at Bronny, the person? Not the basketball player, the person. To get this response out of LeBron to say, keep my fucking kid's name out of your mouth. But that's fine. You can think that's fine if you think that. When we're talking about this specific situation, where is the part where Stephen A. got personal when it came to Bronny? Where is it? Because there was a long Twitter post from Magic Johnson saying, oh, I think Bronny should go to the G League too. JJ used to call him, put all that time, Stephen A. at be a BS. I can't remember the last time he broke down an X and O and just be chatting. He hasn't talked about a 55th pick. No other 55th pick is named after LeBron James. Listen, I understand that point. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have been talking about him. In a perfect world. But that's not how it works. That's not how it rolls for LeBron. Like, let's just call it what it is. He's getting talked about because of LeBron. And what Stephen A did in the full video, which I urge you guys to go look at. It's in January. It's like January 20th or something like that. He talks about the fact that Bronny James is underperforming and that he thinks LeBron put too much of a spotlight on him, and brings up the fact that LeBron said, I will go to any team that drafts Bronny. And even before that, when he was in high school, when he said Bronny is better than half of these NBA players. Elijah, everyone makes a career off of talking about LeBron. It's not just Stephen A. Smith. He would have to go to the ESPN heads. like what are we talking about? So now we're just not gonna talk about LeBron. That don't make sense. That's never been the reality of TV and sports. Like it is what it is. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to y'all, but this is how it's been for the last 20 years. Why would this be any different? Why would this be any different? Dwayne Wade is not LeBron. No, none of these people are LeBron. None of these people have been the face of the league for the last 15 years. It comes with the territory. It just a part of it. And he's deciding to single out one person. And that person, to me, didn't say anything personal because he's saying it's personal. Where is the part that it's personal? Now, I will say, I think Stephen A. was wrong in some of what he responded yesterday. I think he was dead fucking wrong. Because he said LeBron was being petty. Because LeBron had posted the old video of him boxing. And then right after he calls LeBron petty, he goes on like a 5, 7, 8 minute rant about how LeBron is not the GOAT. Because in that point, to Stephen A. Smith, you just went off of topic. That wasn't the problem to begin with. And Stephen A. kept saying, "Oh, this is why LeBron has an issue with me because I refuse to call him the GOAT." That's kind of what Stephen A. was trying to say. Oh, the reason we have an issue is because this person is so controlling and this person is so absorbed with himself that me not having him above Jordan is the root of the problem between us. But I still think it was unnecessary because it has nothing to do with what's going on. I think it would have been more powerful to do an actual show with Stephen A. Smith. To do a segment with him. I think that would have been more powerful in terms of uniting these two massive people in their respective industries. And listen, I think he was dead wrong for that too. Stephen A. Smith was dead wrong. You don't have to make it physical. You didn't have to bring it. You didn't. That was unnecessary. That was unnecessary. Well, I want to see Stephen A. fight LeBron since he brought the subject up, and he's so tough. That's not reporting. What is another example of reporting saying I'm going to physically fight Steph or KD? Two big egos fighting, nothing to do with it. These people need to go to therapy. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that I heard out of Stephen A. Smith, because I've never heard anyone talk about LeBron in this way. He said on national television, LeBron, I don't like you. He said that. And then Stephen A. Smith proceeded to say, LeBron is the type of person and listening to that. LeBron knows that Stephen A is MJ's guy, so he's using him to send a message to MJ. Rob Parker and many people have degraded Ronnie way worse. For the amount that Skip Bayless has spoken about LeBron James, he's never pulled up on him like that. Like I said, early on, I'll be fully transparent. Early on, my issue with Bron was the fact the Knicks. That he didn't come to the Knicks. As time went on, I just personally didn't like how LeBron just did things. And I think Stephen A is kind of the same way. In the sense, he just don't like the way he operates. And I think that's wrong too. But at the same time, no. But he didn't run to the internet. That's what he does for a living. You can't fault a guy for doing what he does for a living. All he did was lie and said, I didn't want to talk about this. That was horseshit. That was bullshit. He was going to talk about it. Which is bullshit. Bron ran up on Stephen A. Then Stephen A. turned into another guy over the internet. Stephen A. like a content. He kept going to the podcast and milking it. Two big egos and narcissists. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what it really is. Right? I think, like I said, the most damning thing that Stephen A. said was LeBron is a backstabber. That's literally what he called LeBron. He called LeBron a backstabber. And I think you or I don't know LeBron. We only see what we see, what he lets us see, and I don't think that's an accident. He's a very calculated person. He's shown that. I don't think you become that powerful by accident. Right? I think a lot of this is planned. That Pat McAfee show, like I said, it was clearly scripted, and it was, hey man, like they're both doing the same shit in my opinion. They're both at this point running to the internet. Because like I said, they could have just done a show together. And Stephen A. Smith said that he was trying to do one, and he said he offered to go on LeBron's thing. He spoke about LeBron's media company and so on and so forth. It's a whole thing. But this is deeper than rap, I think. And hey, it is what it is. I think they're both wrong in their ways. Like I said, I want to see the clip of Stephen A. being personal. Stephen A. think he is way more important than what he is. Like, we don't give a care about the imaginary one-sided relationship you made with Bron. I mean, his contract would say otherwise. His ESPN contract would say otherwise. In terms of his importance. LeBron is about to retire. His wall is crumbling. Watch stories about LeBron coming out soon. Stephen A. a fan. I actually don't think that Stephen A. is a fan. The other part in it that was interesting, and if you watch it, it was very quick. Right? They kind of got into the topic and exited really quickly, which was when Pat McAfee asked about Michael Jordan. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but Pat McAfee goes, oh, how are you and Michael? And LeBron goes, who? As if there's another Michael that they could be talking about. And then goes on to say that he doesn't really have much of a relationship with Michael Jordan. Hopefully they can have one after he retires. And then he spoke about him and Kobe's relationship and so on and so forth. I don't know if that's going to happen, bro. He said, what did he say? He said Brian Windhorst is a weirdo. And I thought that was very odd. Because Brian Windhorst has spelled out what happened with his career, and he has given a lot of credit to LeBron in helping push his career forward. And granted, we see, Brian Windhorst, aka Windy, which I think is still a hilarious nickname. We see him on all over ESPN and whatnot, right? And obviously they were never friends like that, right? Or maybe they didn't have as close of a relationship as people thought. But he was still covering him very closely. Doesn't mean that they had to have been friends. But Brian Windhorst has always given him his credit, and I don't know why he just called him weird. It was kind of out of left field. I don't know. If, like I said, if Windhorst has ever said anything bad about him, I would love to see it. But he's only ever spoken highly of Bron, so I don't know. I don't know. I would love to see this shit, but I haven't seen it. So it's wild. It was a wild week in Laker Nation. It was a wild week in Laker Nation. And LeBron don't get out for nothing. That was the other part that I thought was very interesting. He don't do interviews with nobody. He don't pop out unless it's a game. And so it was odd to see him out and address some of those things. Administration. Do you have like a little notepad? I swear, bro got a little notepad. But I hope that they do some content at some point. I hope that they could piece it up, because I think that would be just good for sports and kind of good for the world, right? LeBron could tell him exactly how he feels. Stephen A could respond and tell him how he really feels and have that dialogue. Granted, I don't think it will happen, but I think it would be really powerful. Now, we gonna talk about some overarching basketball stuff, right? Because let me see this. It was like last week, I think. It was like a week ago. Where the fuck is it? Here. It was like a week ago. Shea was getting asked about being a free throw merchant.
Free throw.
Let's see.
Now, I also drive the most in the NBA, and I've done that for the last 3 or 4 years. And you get fouled on drives, statistically more than you get fouled on jump shots. So that's going to be part of it. And then, I just feel like I'm playing a game of basketball, and I'm trying to win. And if it takes 9 free throws to win, if it takes 17 free throws to win, if it takes 2 free throws to win, if it takes 40 free throws to win, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And
this is like what's confusing to me, because the same folks that'll say everybody plays the same way are the same folks that are going to call Shea a free throw merchant, or this isn't basketball, or whatever the case may be, even though this has always been a thing. And but he may not agree, but he added James Harden shenanigans to his game. He is a free throw merchant. What is the problem with that, though? Like, what is the problem with someone that's trying to get the other team in foul trouble so they have to play defense a little bit differently? Their rotations are off. It's not just that you're shooting a bunch of free throws. There's that strategic part of the game too. And to the people that, everybody plays the same, do you want people to get into basketball games and not have to worry about other shit? Or why are we trying to make the game even easier on people? I think it's a great thing to go into one game and this person is gonna do X, Y, and Z, and to go into the next night and this person is gonna do something totally different that you have to be prepared for. Okay, I feel you. I think there's such a negative connotation to it right now, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing he's doing to help his team. Austin Reeves is absolutely not. If I was an OKC fan, I would love it. And I think it was Gilbert Arenas that brought it up the other day. He goes, the issue with this, especially for someone like Shea, is if you go into the playoffs playing like this and they don't give you those calls, how will it impact your game, right? He's going to have to adjust, but that's a part of it. It's a part of it. He is 100%. Norman Powell, probably the best at in the league, and the way he does it is ethical still. I mean, honestly, if I am undersized, I am baiting everyone into fouls. Like, that's just what I would do. Like, that's what I would do. I mean, Austin Reeves is weaker than everybody from just visually looking at him. I would try to bait every motherfucker into a foul. And he drives the ball a lot. Right? And it's a part of the game. And again, Shea plays different from how Steph Curry or Jason Tatum plays, right? Austin Reeves plays different. Like, it's a great part of I think it's great, right? I think it's really great, right? If you're gonna be reaching in and I'm gonna rip my arm through, that's your fault. That's your fault. You have to know what players you can reach in on and which players you can't. Right? That's a part of the basketball IQ. That's a part of knowing personnel, knowing game plans going into games. I hate how some of these fans like try to shit on that. There is I know y'all probably gonna be on the fence about this, but where is this kid? I thought this was comedy. There's this kid in I think he's in high school. It looks like. Look at this little shit. What y'all think about that? Y'all think that's cool? The guy pushed off. In all fairness, he actually pushed off. He just kind of put some sauce on it. Majority of the time, he's going to go score, and you're a coach to go get the foul. It's part of the game, but I rarely watch Austin and see him foul hunting and going out his way. I mean, that's good basketball. I mean, if you're Austin Reeves, right? If you're Austin Reeves and you're driving to the rim and you are smaller than everyone, I'm going to look for any type of contact and try to score at the same time so that I can get an end one play and it looks natural. He just does a really good job of it. He just does a really good job of it. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets up more shots than anybody. So, yeah, it's going to look more obvious on a lot of plays just because he gets more shots up. But this is a part of the game, just like this kid pushing off, right? You have to know the player you're going up against to not push off and extend your whole arm. It's a part of it. And this is really what I wanted to show y'all, because I thought this was really beautiful. I thought this right here is so beautiful. Let's take a look.
Anybody's coming at you, let me know. I'll talk to them because I know they can be hostile at times. So let me talk to them.
Talking more than my mother-in-law.
They're talking more than my mother-in-law.
They are talking more than my mother-in-law.
Okay, I deal with them.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Even if the foul, don't exaggerate the contact.
No, he pushed me.
I'm just saying, don't. I know, but don't exaggerate, okay? I'm not saying that it's not a foul. Okay, thank you.
Hey, they're traveling.
John, please, come on. Every time. No, you were not watching now. You were not watching now.
We need this guy.
You are not watching.
We need this guy.
With your players.
But what I'm saying is,
I'm listening.
Smack him, grab him. Just because he's taller, you're not calling.
No, this is not true. I'm not like this. And for me, no, look. For me, it's too easy to call that foul. But I will not guess, and for me, it was not illegal contact. Okay? Are you good?
He literally hunted the foul on the shot. What was it, last night or the night before? He literally hunted for the shot. But that's the thing. Like, a lot of players do get fouled a lot. A lot of players do get fouled a lot and don't get the calls. I like I said, I don't think any of these guys do it to the point where it's unnatural. Right? Even Shea sometimes. Right? Even Shea, if I make you bite on a pump fake, that's your fault. Like, that is your fault. If I now jump into you so I could get a free throw, why the fuck not? Right? I don't think they do it to the point where their games look unnatural necessarily, but I love this interaction with the referee. I think we need a lot more of this. And that first guy talking to him about, let me handle my players. If you got a problem, talk to me. That is the type of leadership and relationship that I would want my star player to have with referees. Going back earlier to where I was like, man, I think if Luka Doncic, because he talks to the referees a lot as it is. And I'll be honest, there are a lot of moments where he's talking to them that's very calm and they're having a conversation that doesn't get highlighted. Right? They only want to highlight when he's yelling at them and cursing them out. And it was like this even before in Dallas. He just had a lot more moments that were explosive towards the refs. But if he can have that kind of a relationship with the referee and have that conversation, hey, they keep hitting Austin on the drive. You're not seeing it because of where you're standing, but they keep jamming him in an elbow on the drive. They're trying to take his left arm away, and that's why he's shooting crazy. That conversation with the referee, I think, will go a really, 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 really long way. And then it highlights it for the other guys, right? It highlights it for them, and you know, it'll help his team a whole lot. That was beautiful. And also, you got to love the way that referee is talking to the players, right? He gives them room to have a conversation. He stays out. He stays at his position, right? He's like, that's not how I am. That's not what I'm doing. Da 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 da. He's telling the coach, you didn't even see the play. You talking to your play. You didn't even see the play. We need that guy. We need that guy. That's a great example of positive refereeing. And even on the play, even on the push off, right? He tells him, I'm not saying it's not a foul, just don't exaggerate. And then you, as a player, can then go back to him and say, well, if I don't, you'll never see it. Right? You're not going to see it because he trying to do it at a certain timing. Sometimes you got to fucking exaggerate it a little bit. Sometimes you have to. When you're taking a charge, half the time you're damn near falling as the guy is hitting you. You're not waiting to get fully hit. you already gonna start the fall. You're trying to time it. But that was beautiful, beautiful interaction. Hopefully LeBron and Stephen A can have that type of interaction because you know, we want people to get along in this space, right? We want people to get along in this space. But wow, man. I wanna yo. These guys are hilarious to me, bro. Look at this.
Play by Kyrie, but was it because it wasn't a legal play? Let's break it down. So he starts off with his hand under the ball, palm facing up. That makes that a carry, actually. But from there, he's got a live dribble, and he gathers the basketball 1 foot down, making that foot his 0 step. He steps with the left, then the right, making the step back 2 steps and legal on NBA and FIBA levels. This was a killer play by Kyrie, but was it because it wasn't a legal play? Let's break it.
He said hand under the ball, dog. Nobody will be playing basketball. Nobody would be playing basketball if anyone called the game like that. Like, Bro, what are we doing, man? Some of these little fucking Instagram referees, bro. These little Instagram refs are kind of like the fitness dudes. They are getting out of hand. Some of them are getting out of hand. Hold on. There's another dude that I saw the other day that was hilarious to me, bro. Was it that same guy? Cause he was critiquing, I think it might have been the same guy. I think he was critiquing yeah, dude. So he was saying that about fucking, he was saying that about let me see. Dog. This is the guy that's critiquing Kyrie Irving, bro. Let me just show y'all. Let me just show y'all this.
Ab steps, shooting, and just one bounce if you're going to dribble. Once you got these down, then you can add to the bag so you've got something in case the defender cuts off your original move. But these are the moves that you're going to be able to use most often in game.
Dog, what the fuck are we doing, man? What the fuck are we doing? And then there was another one where he was fucking, he was carrying the ball the whole time. Like, I was like, bro, what?
Here's a move you can get defenders sliding with.
Like, man, these guys are fucking delusional nowadays, man. But hey, man, that's the NBA for you. That's the NBA for you right now, man. That's the NBA for you. What y'all think, man? What y'all think? You think you guys think we need to have some referees calling more travels, more double dribbles? What y'all think? What else we got? Oh my God, we're already at an hour 3 in. What games we got tonight? Let's see. What games we got tonight? Cleveland, Detroit, Charlotte, Toronto. That's a definite win for y'all, man. That's a definite win for y'all. Charlotte Hornets suck. Clippers, Brooklyn could be cool. Warriors, Pelicans, Phoenix, Minnesota. We got some really good games tonight. I'll probably watch out for that Warriors, Pelicans game. The Phoenix, Minnesota game, and the New York, Milwaukee game would be the games to look out for. But that's going to do it for me for now, man. I appreciate y'all as always. Thank you guys for hanging out and just vibing out with me, man. Thank you guys as always, man. It's the weekend. We here, baby. We here. We time to get into the weekend. Where are they? Are they 5th? Man, you bugging. But you know what? Any 2-game losing streak for anybody right now is real massive. If anyone goes on a 2-3 game losing streak, shit could get real spooky. Hey, our captain is not playing. We just had 2 guys with triple doubles and OG had 35. Hey, man, my boys. Hey, we're back. We're back in We're always Knicks fans. Don't let the little Orlando Magic jersey the other day fool you. I just like T-Mac, but Memphis. Oh shit. I mean, their real problem is yeah, we're New Yorkers still, man. We're New Yorkers. I got my Knicks hat somewhere around here, man. Wait, hold on, cuz they're talking about potential coaches. Do y'all ever like Frank Vogel as a coach? I never liked Frank Vogel as a coach. I don't think he's a very good coach. Maybe that's just me. But I don't love him as a coach. Maybe Sam Cassell, a little Sam Cassell angle, maybe. Mike Brown, not a huge Mike Brown guy. I mean, he might as well, because they're about to lose Giannis. Dame is out right now. He might as well try to get up in there, man. He might as well try to go in there and ruin Ja Morant's career. Holy shit, man. It's a crazy week, man. It's a crazy week. But that's going to do it for me for now, man. Have a great weekend, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as always. Before I get out of here, please like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. Thank you guys as always. I'll see you back here on Monday. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I thank you for that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Derpy Entertainment. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.